So we've just been given our first look at the tmnt Mutant Mayhem movie, and oh boy does it look amazing. The animation looks amazing, outstanding even. And we've also been given our first look at the tmnt Mutant Mayhem cast, and that also looks really amazing, and looks really stacked and really interesting with who they got to play with these certain characters. But with that being said, it has sort of left me wondering, is that maybe this movie could have too many characters, or will it be missing characters? So it's all left me wondering that sort of question over the past night, and it's really annoying me because on the one hand, I do feel as though there are missing characters, but on the other hand, I'm sort of wondering if maybe this movie could be having too many characters. So it feels though that this whole video could be interesting to talk about, just because I feel as though with what we've been given so far is interesting, but at the same time, I don't really know what to really make of it so far, and it feels as though I will be given a better look at all this stuff when we do get the trailer Monday, but at the same time, with what we've been given, it's sort of really interesting with what's being shown. Okay, so first off, I would like to talk about the cast itself, because I don't really see myself talking about the cast for too much longer, just because the thing is with this cast, there are some really interesting choices in this cast, and there's only a handful in here which I do actually know, such as Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, who else, John Cena, Jackie Chan, and a few other ones, and it's really interesting with who they do have for the certain characters, and I do think that for the most part, the majority of the other characters, such as playing the Turtles themselves, April and a few other characters, are ones which I don't really know too well, and in fact I never really heard of them until now, so I do think it's going to be really interesting to see some actors get their spotlight, and I do think that could be really interesting. But then we do have actors like Paul Rudd and John Cena who are playing Rocksteady and Mondo Gecko, which is somewhat a bit interesting, just because I don't really hear myself thinking that these actors will be playing these type of characters. But I do think that because this is an animation type thing, they will most likely be doing some sort of voice, and it's going to be interesting. So I think I'm going to hold my judgment towards these actors and actresses when we actually get to hear their actual voices for the characters and actual animation with it. But this cast also did reveal some stuff about the actual movie itself, which I did find a bit interesting, such as Wingnut being a female, which, yeah, I guess is okay. I mean, I don't really care too much about Wingnut, so I guess it's going to annoy a few fans, but other than that, yeah, it's there, I guess. Then we also have Leatherhead, who's also going to be a female in this movie, which I know is probably going to annoy a lot of fans. But the thing is, I'm actually more looking forward to this version of Leatherhead now, and yeah, I don't really know what to really make of Leatherhead in this version. I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to say. I feel so I'm going to be rambling on, but the thing is with this is that I know that some female actresses, they can do like boy voices, but I mean that's the thing is that I don't want Leatherhead to sound like a boy. If you're gonna get a female actress to do Leatherhead, at least go all the way with it and actually give us a female Leatherhead. As I feel as though, you know, there could be something really interesting there that we've not seen before. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, overall, I do think this whole cast is really interesting. It's going to be one to really wait and see, to hear their voices and actually see animation with it. So, it's interesting, but so far, on board for the most part. Okay, let's talk about the missing characters now. So, I do think that they are definitely holding back and not revealing all the characters. I know that they're probably not going to announce that they're going to have a cameo from Kevin Eastman and announce all the additional cast. I do think that you don't really need to announce that, but I do think that there are actual main type characters in this movie that have not been shown yet. So the thing is, we don't really have a main villain just yet, unless they are maybe having the Utrom, or maybe they could be having Baxter Stockman as the main villain, but I don't really see that happening, so that could be interesting. So the main villain, I think it's either going to be Shredder, but I feel as though that he's probably going to be like a end credit type scene thing, because we do have the Rat King who was announced to be in this movie via some leaks, storyboards. So interesting to see why he's not on this list, but at the same time he's not really a mutant, so interested to see where this could all go. So yeah, but I do think that's quite interesting, though we don't have a main villain yet. But with some other missing characters, I do think it's really interesting, because we do have Wingnut, but yeah, we don't have a Screw Loose. So, you know, I do feel as though that if we don't have Screw Loose, we riot. But again, it's Wingnut, so who really cares? But yeah, then also with the Punk Frog situation, we have one Punk Frog called Genghis. Why not go all the way and have, was it Napoleon, Rasputin, the other one? So yeah, I do find that a bit weird that we only have one punk frog and not all 4 of them. I mean, how can you have punk frogs with only one punk frog? It's a bit weird, but at the same time, it's all curious, but I do think that maybe they might have held back from not showing all the punk frogs, just to maybe like lower the cast list for like social media. But if that's the case, then why only show one, or like even show all of them or none of them? But that's interesting to see about getting punk frog, but yeah, again, like, I don't really know what to really say here, because yeah. And also another cast member we could potentially be seeing in this movie is Casey Jones, just because we do get to see in the Elite Toy boxes, but I do see that there are graffiti with the names of characters, and on the Turtle boxes we get to see the Turtles' names, and that's quite obvious, but then we do have Splinter, who's made into a toy, and then we have Casey Jones, so I do think that he could potentially be in this movie. So with this last topic, I'd like to talk about the too many characters type thing. So the thing is, so far we have 16 announced characters, which is really interesting, and at the same time, yeah, it's just really interesting, just because on the one hand, it does sound like a really lot like main characters, 16 main characters with like really big voice, big celebrities behind them. Not to mention we are still probably going to be getting a lot more actors and characters who have yet to be announced. So we can at least expect like at least 20 plus. So that's quite a lot for a TMNT movie on its first TMNT movie, trying to set up its whole new universe. So I do think that maybe there is a bit too many characters. And I do think that the majority of these characters will just be in here for like 5 minutes and then we'll go away and set up the next TMNT movie, villain movie or TV show. I do think that maybe some of these characters are just going to be a waste of time really. I don't really see like Mondo Gecko, Ray Fillet being a big part of it, Wingnut, without Screwless, being a big part of the movie. I've seen more being like somewhat set up characters or just gag or throwaway characters, which I do think that's somewhat a bit disappointing. If you're going to have this like really big cast of characters and celebrities and you're just going to be using them for like 5 minutes, you know, there's a bit of disappointment there, but at the same time, if they're going to be doing more with these characters and setting up stuff for the future for a new universe, TV show, movies and stuff like that, then I can't complain, but at the same time, it just feels a bit of a waste. And with how many characters do you have, I don't know, it could get a bit confusing maybe, or again, I don't really know, I just think that there could be too many characters. But with that being said, I do also think that maybe because what I've already said about like setting up stuff for the future, I do think that there is like a lot of potential here to do really fun and unique and interesting stuff with all these characters, with setting up stuff for the future. If this movie does well and does set up this universe really well, which I got a feeling that it definitely has potential and possibility to do an amazing job, then I do think that all these characters could do a really great job at setting up this universe and setting up other stuff in this thing for the villain-based movies or stuff like that. I do see a lot of potential here with this really interesting lineup of characters. But yeah, there's so many really interesting, weird, unique, amazing ones, and I'm really just curious to see everything about it. And I do think that we could definitely see a lot of really fun interactions with certain characters, with like Mikey and this Mondo Gecko. Really curious to see what that is all going to be about. And I do think that there's like, going to be a lot of potential to be really amazing with the cast and stuff like that, with how many characters we do have. But I do think it just comes back to it's just that maybe all these characters, while it's going to be great to have them all in there, maybe there might be a bit too many. So, oh God, it's frustrating because I like all these characters, but is it too many? I'm speechless about it all. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm quite curious to hear what you say about this in the comment section below, about what you think about this new lineup of characters, what you think about the actors and actresses that are going to be playing these characters, as well. So that's a really interesting thing. And also quite curious to hear what you say about this in terms of like whether you think that maybe we could be getting too many characters, or if they are actually hiding some characters. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. If you do awesome, please share, like, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.